always light at the end of the tunnel. Who said that? Well, I am not the right person to answer. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to a brand new video. Kai Productions reporting. We are all acquainted with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or the MCU as we all know it, since the very first Iron Man movie. Tears of agony and sorrow were shed when our beloved Iron Man died in Avengers Endgame, bringing an end to the Infinity Saga. So much so that it crossed the lifetime box office collection of Titanic and became the second highest grossing movie of all time. However, it's safe to say that since then, Marvel hasn't been performing that great. Eternals, Thor, Love and Thunder, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Madam, Web, these were all box office failures. From 2019 to 2024, it was quite a bumpy ride for the MCU. Although the above proved to be failures, there were some releases such as Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which were immensely successful. Then came the Marvel Jesus, our very own Deadpool in Deadpool and Wolverine, toppling the record of Joker 1 to become the highest R-rated movie of all time, minting over $1 billion at the international box office, thus turning Marvel's fortune. The future of MCU looks bright as well, with big releases on the horizon such as Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Avengers Secret War, Spider-Man 4, Avengers Doomsday, and so on. Similar is the story of Blumhouse production company. Blumhouse Productions is an American film and television production company known for producing low-budget horror films that achieve significant box office success. It was founded in the year 2000 by Jason Blum. Most of their film budgets are under $10 million while still managing to perform good at the international box office. The production company has a good reputation, and its most famous theatrical release is a psychological horror film, Get Out, in 2007, which helped Jordan Peele to win an Academy Award for Best Screenwriting, and Daniel Kaluuya also bagged an Oscar for the Best Leading Actor, thus solidifying the status of Blumhouse as innovative film producers. It also has other famous films under its belt such as Sinister, released in 2013, Insidious series, and the list continues. 2023 although ended with a bang for Blumhouse Productions. Five Nights at Freddy's, it's a movie based on the video game adaptation designed by Scott Cawthon, was a box office smash, minting $297.2 million at the international box office on a modest budget of $20 million only. It starred Josh Hutcherson in the leading role of Mike Schmidt. However, 2024 has been quite underwhelming for the underdogs. Night Swim, released on 5th January 2024, disappointed audience worldwide and film critics. Following the tradition of Blumhouse, the film was made on a budget of $12 million only, but limped its way to $54 million at the international box office. It received a dismal rating of 4.7 out of 10 on IMDb and 20% Rotten Tomatoes. All in all, it received negative responses in majority. Imaginary, released on 8th March 2024, underperformed and couldn't live up to its expectations. Made on a budget somewhere between $10 to $13 million, the film minted a mere $43 million at the international box office. It couldn't bring in much profits. Like Night Swim, it was rated 4.7 out of 10 on IMDb and received only 24% Rotten Tomatoes rating. Despite having cheesy dialogues, Imaginary lacked its main components of horror and suspense. The list is scarred by yet another disaster on an even bigger scale. Afraid, released on 30th August 2024, suffered a box office crash. As expected, the film was made on a mere budget of $12 million. It somehow recovered its production cost at the international box office, somehow managing to gross $12.6 million despite having an IMDb rating of 5.1 out of 10, a bit better than its compatriots. It received a bitter 24% on Rotten Tomatoes and 28% on Metacritic. Now comes the main topic of our video, Speak No Evil. Released on 13 September 2024, we can safely consider it as the Blumhouse Jesus. It is more of a psychological horror flick which is in the market nowadays rather than a pure horror film. Speak No Evil was made on a budget of $15 million and till date it has minted $73 million at the international box office. It is still enjoying theatrical run in some cinema halls, so by the time it is released on OTT platforms, when its theatrical run comes to an end, we can safely assume the film to breach the $80 million mark, at least thus realizing a net profit of $65 million or even more. It has received a rating of 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb, 84% Rotten Tomatoes and 66% Metacritic, which is quite good. So let's delve into some important facts. What made it stand out from other releases of Blumhouse Productions in 2024? As most of you know, big names don't always bring in big bucks. However, A-listers are also essential for ensuring the success of a project. All new faces in a project is not recommendable. Audiences might not be attracted due to completely new stars or those in ascendancy. Big names are just like price tags. The more lucrative it is, the more people are attracted. Five Nights at Freddy's succeeded due to the presence of established stars like Josh Hutcherson playing the protagonist Mike Schmidt. Blumhouse is although not completely at fault because it is difficult to attract seasoned stars on a low-budget project. However, Speak No Evil, craft fully exploring psychological themes and based on script writing, had A-listers in the form of James McAvoy and Mackenzie Davis, embracing the roles of Paddy and Louis Dalton respectively. James McAvoy is most famous for portraying Bill Denbrough in It Chapter 2, a role that was embraced by Jaden Martell in his prequel. Mackenzie Davis gained fame for her role in Terminator Dark Fate, released in 2019 as Grace. Speak No Evil perfectly blends experience with newcomers in the form of Eileen Francioski as Ciara, Dan Howe as Ant, and Alex Westleffler as Agnes Totten in the movie. And the list continues so on. Quite commendable for a $13 million budget movie, isn't it? Unlike previous productions like Night Swim, Afraid, and Imaginary, Speak No Evil successfully maintains its main theme of horror and suspense throughout, although it is not a typical horror movie. The adaptation gives the protagonists more agency, moving from helpless victims in the original to characters who fight back, making the ending more satisfying for mainstream audiences. Let's have a look at some disturbing clips from the movie.
I'm pretending it's normal since we got here. Dad?
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
No! Patty! I miss coming.
It's all right, it's all right, it's all right. It's all right, boy. Look, sometimes when I meet new people, I'll get a little bit self-conscious, you know?
I just wanted to make a good impression.
Yeah.
What do you do then?
Well, I don't do anything. Does she want to lie down, or...?
No, I think she just wants her own bed, right, sweetie? Yeah, I mean, I should probably just sleep in the car, to be honest.
Oh, it's okay, love.
I think we're gonna hit the road.
Well, I hope by now you guys have all understood why we earlier stated that this is not a typical horror movie. It's purely psychological, and at times viewers felt uncomfortable and uneasy according to reviews from various sources. Speak No Evil explores the discomfort of social interactions and the fear of being polite at the expense of personal safety, which resonated deeply with the audience. But as always, we'll leave it up to you. Is it really intriguing enough to send chills down your spine?